So there's a few pretty important features that I forgot, or maybe I just waited till now. So we want to add these in, but I'll tell you ahead of time, some of the changes that I'm going to make are going to cause some issues. And so we're going to have to work through those. Again, like I mentioned a while ago, that's one of the challenges of making molded parts is as you're designing these, sometimes it's an iterative process where you have to make changes in one area that's going to affect others, and you'll have to go back and forth. So what I want to do is I want to switch to a front view, and I want to start to sketch. And what I need to create is the pockets that our eyes and eyelids are going to be in. And so I'll select on these two faces, and whenever I choose offset into these, you'll notice that whenever I click on reverse back and forth, that it doesn't do anything. There's no preview. When I select, we get a warning letting us know that hey, you cannot do more than one face at a time. You can do one face or one loop. It's a pretty good dialog box, and so we can just cancel out of this command. I select it in white space, then I allow us to clear the selection, and I can choose one face at a time to offset. So now whenever I go into offset, we see a preview, and I want to reverse that in order for the offset to go inside. But again, you notice whenever I do that, there is no preview. Even though we choose reverse and the green check mark, we get another warning letting us know we cannot offset the selected entities. The specified offset dimension is too big. And what that's telling us is that this 2 millimeters is too large. And the reason why is we have a fillet out here that's exactly 2 millimeters and one here as well. So offsetting those to the inside would make no fillet at all. So we need to make a couple of changes before we proceed. So I'll exit out of the sketch and discard the changes of it. And now we can go in and select the particular fillet and make the change. So when we come in here, we're able to specify, say, a 3 millimeter dimension rather than 2. So we can make that dimensional change. When we look at all 4 edges, everything looks okay. We click on the green check mark, and now we have a warning. It's letting us know now fillet 5 has some problems. So let's take a look at that as well. And we see in here that there's some missing edges. The geometry that has occurred by doing this has now overlapped this fillet and this edge. So these are now missing edges, and we get this little tarnished color that's our dangling. That's okay. We can just select the edges in order to repair these. We'll do all 4 of these the same way. And now when we click on the green check mark, we're going to be presented with one more warning. It's just letting us know that, hey, there were some entities in here that are no longer existing. Do you want to continue? And we can say yes. And all that's going to rebuild, and we'll be fine now. So now we should be going back to proceed, creating that sketch on the front plane. We can select one of the faces at a time to do the offset. This time, whenever I choose the reverse direction, you'll see that we won't get a warning for either one. I'd like to show you some of these hurdles or these stumbling blocks because they can be frustrating if you don't know how to navigate and make the changes. So now that I've specified my dimensions, I want to proceed with creating the extrude cut. I want that cut to go the opposite direction, and I want it to be offset 40 millimeters. I need to specify my standard draft angle outward of 3 degrees, and we want that to be a through all cut. Specify the feature scope as I've suggested. It's an extra step, but it is helpful. And now we can see that we've got the pockets created for our eyes and eyelashes to go. We need to create some fillets, but I'm going to go ahead and create the cuts for our optics before we do that. If you remember that I had in our layout sketch a couple of circles that specified where we wanted our optics to go. And so I'm going to select on one of these faces, and this time I'm going to choose to do the extrude cut first. We can choose the feature or the sketch first. It doesn't matter the order. I'm going to select both of the construction geometry lines from our layout, and I'm going to choose to convert those into sketch geometry, and then I'm going to hide our layout sketch. And you can see the 2 circles that are now available in this sketch. And so you can choose other sketches, choose profiles, choose contours, individual sketching of these, and convert those into your current sketch. Now whenever I proceed using the confirmation corner, it already knows I'm making a cut, and I can choose to cut in 1.5 millimeters. We are going to use our draft angle at 3 degrees, and we'll let that taper in so that the direction is proper. And so now we've got holes where we want our optics to go. Now back to filleting. I'm going to put in a couple of 1 millimeter fillets on this outside edge and this inside edge on each of our optic mounts. Green check mark will finish out the command, and now we're blended and ready to go.